It started after we got news of the Death Star blown up. The second one, that is.
What's exciting about the New Republic era? I think there's room in this galaxy for all sorts of storytelling.
So you're able to weave in and out of stories and create something that when you watch it all together, it starts to define what's happening during this moment in history before the First Order.
The New Republic is an interesting design challenge in the sense that it is literally 7 to 9 years after Return of the Jedi. And what that means is that we can combine now all the designs from the original trilogy time period and actually merge them together and develop this further to create a new identity for the New Republic. So when we were creating the prison ship, the touchstone that we used was actually a blockade runner in terms of that form language, the white interior, the very elegant shapes, because it connected us with something that we were familiar with, but it was showing it in a new light.
Intruder alert. Open fire.
For the New Republic prison droids, I wanted to update droid designs with the KX security droid. So we thought, okay, well, this new droid should have elements of that. So we took the lower portion of the KX droid and put him into our new droid and give him a new distinct head. But you actually can see then the evolution of how the KX could evolve into our new security droid.
Nice shoes. Matches his belt.
With the New Republic uniforms, we wanted to make sure that we were tapping into the foundation of what these were built on.
And so what you see in the designs are a little bit of the old and new, but it's really kind of, anchoring it in the original trilogy.
And so we used the same fabrics, the same wools that were used in the original trilogy. And we used a lot of the same cut. Whereas the Empire had this sort of almost jodhpur cut, we went straighter with it to keep it cleaner and more innocent. But it has a lot of the characteristics of the Empire so that you don't quite know, are these the good guys or the bad guys? A lot of the helmets were established in the original trilogy. What we did was we went back to Skywalker Ranch and we gathered as many notes as we could. And then we came back here and I had my crew sculpt it in clay rather than doing a 3D print because I wanted to get some of that handmade detail that would have been in the original trilogy.
Stop! In the prison episode, the New Republic Guard needed a blaster. And so we pitched, what if we used something similar that you're familiar with, but we changed it up a little bit. And so we took Jyn Erso's blaster, and then we just kind of changed the grip and said, this is now the New Republic Security Guard blaster.
You got a runner.
I'm on it. For our X-Wing pilots for the New Republic, it was a lot of just sort of working what was established before and updating it. Instead of being ragtag and worn, these were now new.
Copy that.
But the actual design itself is still exactly the same as before.
So when we went to Skywalker Ranch, I photographed the original twill, the orange twill that this was built out of. And I wanted to get the weight right and then get the color right. Once we got the color of the orange right, then it was getting the helmets right. And again, we sculpted these, but we also bought the models that are sold for cosplayers because we like to be inspired by the 501st in our fandom. In fact, Paul Sung Lee is a member of the 501st and was, of course, cast as one of our pilots. And I would turn to him, I'm like, okay, if I'm getting this right, I'm getting this right. And he would be like, yeah, you actually know more than I do. So I was like, yay.
These are Imperial credits.
They still spend.
I don't know if you heard, but the Empire is gone.
When you have a new government, one of the first things that has to change is money. And so we figured out different denominations for New Republic coinage. And we use different metals for the different denominations. And these are galactic credits.
Even I'm rich.
The Beskar ingot. This is from the Imperial smelter, so we had the little Imperial mark here. And then working with, kind of essentially a Damascus pattern that we put on here.
So this is the Great Grief Karga, Season 2. At this stage, he becomes a magistrate of Navarro, where they still have all the regality, but they're very remote, and so their fabrics are more cotton and they're more wools, things that they can make.
They should leave the Outer Rim alone. If the Empire couldn't settle it, what makes them think they can?
And so it was that connective tissue of tying into the era that you saw in A New Hope, and that the New Republic came from here.